Hi, Gay here from Simply Savvy Web, your microbiz website coach. This is the next video in the top 5 things you need to launch your website series, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit more about choosing your platform. So in the first tutorial I talked about your platform in terms of what your goals are for your website. So whether you need a simple brochure site or an online shop, or perhaps something a little bit more complex like a membership site or an online course. And there are many different platforms to choose from, so choosing the right platform really depends on what your goals are. So today let's just have a little look, and we'll talk about the pros and cons of the different platforms that are available, and then we'll have a look at some of the costs that you can expect. Okay, so there are a lot of options out there. Now WordPress is generally was the option that I work with is WordPress, and it powers over a third of the internet. Okay, you can see here in this graph to the right, the grey line next to WordPress is now at 35.9%. Okay, so that means out of all websites on the internet, 35, nearly 36% are powered by WordPress. Okay, and you can see some of the other options below, listed below WordPress there, and the percentages that they where they're used on the internet. The one at the top where it says none, that means that there's no those websites that aren't using a content management system. Okay, so they may be old sites that have been hand coded, or they might be really huge sites that have been custom coded. Okay, so they're not using a content management system. All of those other systems that are listed there are all content management systems. Okay, so a content management system or a CMS makes it easier for you to manage your content. Okay, it has the facilities and the functions for you to add your text and add your images and manage it all. Okay, so the green line next to WordPress, you see that it says 63.2%. Now that is the market share of WordPress in the market amongst content management systems. Okay, so it has a huge, that's over 2/3 of content management systems are using WordPress. And there's a few reasons for that. There's so much flexibility with WordPress. You can basically do anything you want. Okay, you'll find a plugin that will do whatever you want. And if you can't find one that does exactly what you want, you can find a developer who will make one for you. So there's a huge community around WordPress worldwide. Okay, it's massive, and that's one of the things I really love about WordPress is that community. Now, the other platforms that are available, of course, Wix and Squarespace, they can make it easy for when you're just starting out and you just want a simple website. Yeah, they can make it quite easy. Well, relatively easy. They all have their own learning curves. But they have their place. And as I mentioned before in the previous video, you have options like Shopify, which is specifically for e-commerce, so that if you're just building an online shop with products, then Shopify could be a good bet for you. But you also have the option of WordPress, which has WooCommerce, which is another extremely popular online shopping plugin. There are other site builders, so quite often when you register your domain or you're looking around for domains and hosting, you might see something like GoDaddy, and they have their own website builders built in. Now, I generally advise to stay clear of those because they are proprietary builders and very difficult to then move away from them so it's not easy to migrate from them to, for instance, WordPress, and they're quite limited in their functionality. Okay, so again, it depends on what you need. Now, just looking at costs, So things like you'll always have your domain registration. So whatever platform you choose, you'll need to register a domain. Of course, some of them will offer a free domain along with their hosting, which is fine if you want to go that way. Basically, your a domain will cost around $15 a year for a .com or around $25 for 2 years for a .au. Okay. Your website hosting. For decent hosting, expect to pay at least around $15 a month. Okay, you can get cheaper, that's for sure. You can get a lot cheaper than that, but with website hosting, as with many things in life, you get what you pay for. Okay, so if you want decent hosting, then you expect to pay around $15 a month. Now, other platforms vary. Some have a free starting point that you can start out with, but then when you want to add any extra functionality, you generally have to start paying, and they charge a monthly fee or an annual fee. Okay, so for instance, Wix starts from around 10 US a month, Weebly from around 15 US a month. Actually, no, I think that was Australian. Squarespace from around 16 US a month, and Shopify from around 29 US a month. So as you see, and that's just for the starting point. When you want to add extra functionality, then you need to upgrade to a higher level to get extra functionality. Okay, so it pays to have a look at those costs and just weigh up the difference. And I just add with WordPress, if you wanted to add extra features, as I said, with any platform, if you want to add extra features, then you generally have to up level. With WordPress, things like your shopping cart, other integrations, there are a lot of free options available. WooCommerce itself is free, but when you want to add extensions to do extra features, add extra features, then you may need to purchase a premium plugin to do that, and then there'll be ongoing license costs involved with that. So that's just a snapshot of the sort of costs that you can expect. As for building the site itself, you're either going to have to invest your time to learn how to do it and then create it, or you'll have to invest money in paying someone to do it for you. Okay, so that wraps up the choosing your platform topic. And the next video, I'll be talking a bit more about domains and how to purchase a domain and also website hosting. Okay, see you then.